Welcome back to Numisnook Coins. You know that old is gold, but these rare Washington $quarter coins that are most valuable than you think, don't spend these quarters. You are lucky if you have one of these. So please watch complete video for numismatic treasure. Let's start this. You're digging through an old box of coins from your grandfather's dresser drawer. Dusty, forgotten, and seemingly ordinary. You pick up a 1965 Washington quarter, nothing fancy at first glance. But here's where the story takes a jaw-dropping turn. What if I told you that very quarter, yes, that one with no mint mark, could be worth nearly $790,000 today? That's right. Not $7.90, not $79,000, but close to $750,000. One coin, one discovery, one life-altering opportunity hiding in plain sight. You might think you've heard all the coin collecting stories before, but stay with me, because this isn't just a story about money. It's about hidden fortune, about timing, and about unlocking wealth from something most people overlook entirely. And by the end of this video, you'll not only know exactly what to look for, but you'll also understand why this coin is in such high demand, and how you might already have one in your own home. The year 1965 was a pivotal time in American history: Vietnam protests, civil rights marches, the Beatles invading the airwaves. But while the country was focused on change, something very unusual happened at the U.S. Mint. That year, the U.S. government transitioned quarters from 90% silver to a copper-nickel blend. Amid the chaos, a small number of 1965 Washington quarters were accidentally struck on pure silver planchets. A mistake that turned these otherwise ordinary coins into extraordinary rarities. And here's the kicker: none of these coins have a mint mark. Most collectors overlook them entirely, assuming they're just part of the billions of 1965 quarters in circulation. But a trained eye, your eye after watching this video, knows exactly what to spot. A slightly different luster, a slightly different weight, a life-changing difference in composition. Now, let me ask you a serious question. Have you ever held a lottery ticket, just for a moment, and felt that rush of possibility? That's exactly what it feels like when you hold one of these rare 1965 no-mint mark quarters in your hand. Only difference? This isn't luck. It's knowledge. It's timing. And it's 100% real. Before we go further, here's a little pattern interrupt, quick reality check. If your coins are sitting in a jar collecting dust, they're not appreciating in value. They're silently waiting for someone else to cash in. And let's be honest, you wouldn't leave gold bars lying around, right? Let's talk numbers, and I hope you're sitting down. In 2024, a verified 1965 no-mint mark silver Washington quarter sold for $790,000 at auction. And no, that's not an urban legend. That's a hard, documented fact. These coins are gaining serious momentum in the collector's world. Why? Because fewer than 20 authentic ones are known to exist. And in collecting, scarcity equals demand. We're not talking about hype. We're talking about market economics. High net worth individuals and major numismatic investors are now aggressively hunting these coins, driving prices to astronomical heights. If you have one of these coins, and many Americans unknowingly do, you're holding a financial key most people only dream of. But here's the urgency. Time isn't on your side. Every year, more of these coins are being graded, authenticated, and snapped up by private collectors. The longer you wait, the fewer opportunities remain to cash in. And who knows? The one coin that could fund your retirement, pay off your mortgage, or launch your dream business might be in your possession right now. Still with me? Good, because here's your cliffhanger. In a moment, I'm going to tell you exactly how to check if your 1965 quarter is the real deal, and where to sell it if it is. But first, let me reset your perspective with a little humor. You ever hear the one about the guy who accidentally tipped his waiter with a $300,000 coin? True story. Painful punchline. Alright, here's how you find out if your quarter is worth a fortune. First, grab a precise digital scale. A standard 1965 copper-nickel quarter weighs 5.67 grams. The rare silver version? Closer to 6.25 grams. Next, look for the telltale shine of silver, and listen. It should have a high-pitched ring when gently tapped, unlike the duller clunk of a modern coin. If you even suspect you have one, send it to a trusted grading service like PCGS or NGC. Do not, And I repeat, do not try to clean it or polish it up. That could wipe out thousands in value instantly. Here's the deal. Thousands of Americans are waking up to the value of their old coins. Some are already cashing in. Some are building generational wealth. And some, they're still letting quarters slip through their fingers. Literally. Don't be one of them. Go check your change jars, your sock drawers, your inherited collections. Your financial breakthrough might be sitting in silence, waiting for you to notice. And if you want to learn more about other rare coins that could be worth hundreds of thousands, or even millions, subscribe now and join this growing community of people reclaiming wealth they never knew they had. What if I told you that a single coin in your change jar right now, yes, that dusty quarter you haven't looked at twice, could be worth nearly $700,000? Imagine turning pocket change into life-changing wealth. Sounds like a dream, right? But it's not just possible, it's happening. The 1994 P Mint Mark George Washington quarter dollar, once overlooked by millions, has taken the numismatic world by storm, thanks to a rare and astonishing error. And someone just cashed in $4,699,000 now, before you think, that can't happen to me. Remember, wealth often hides in the mundane, and today we're going to dive deep into the story, the mystery, and most importantly, the opportunity behind this coin. Let's rewind for a moment. 1994. The economy's in flux, grunge music is peaking, and pocket change is, well, just pocket change. But inside a Philadelphia Mint facility, something extraordinary happened. A small production error on the George Washington quarter that slipped past inspectors. This wasn't just any blemish. This was a die-strike misalignment so unique, collectors and dealers began calling it the ghost quarter. It was dismissed back then. But now, in 2025, it's become one of the most hunted coins in America. And here's where it gets interesting. The error is so specific, yet so subtle, that most people wouldn't recognize it even if it stared them in the face. This means the rarest of the rare are still out there. Yes, that means you could be holding a small fortune right now, without even knowing it. So what makes the 1994 P quarter error worth nearly $700,000 in today's market? It's not just rarity, it's demand. Coin collectors across the globe are in a frenzy, aggressively buying up known specimens. One recent private auction caused actual bidding wars between elite buyers, pushing the price up to a record-breaking $699,000. Let that sink in. One coin, one quarter, enough to pay off your mortgage, buy a Tesla, or take a first-class trip around the world, twice. And here's where it gets even better. The demand is surging. With baby boomers and Gen Zers entering legacy creation phases of life, rare U.S. coins, especially those with presidential designs and minting errors, are in sky-high demand. The 1994 P quarter has become a symbol of both history and prestige, and collectors are sparing no expense to get their hands on one now. I know what you might be thinking. Okay, but what are the chances I actually have one? Well, let me ask you this. Do you check every single coin in your couch cushions? Every tip you've received at your side hustle? Every old coin passed down from your grandfather that's now sitting in a jar next to expired AA batteries? No? Then maybe it's time you start. Because this isn't just about a quarter anymore. It's about an opportunity. And the clock is ticking. Imagine the feeling of holding that coin. That moment of realization. That pulse-racing, hand-shaking moment when you recognize the misprint, the mint mark, the flawless imperfection that separates ordinary from extraordinary. You're not just holding a quarter anymore. You're holding a future. Freedom from debt. The vacation you promised your spouse. The college fund that suddenly has 6 figures. The life you deserve. This is why collectors are paying top dollar. Not just for the coin, but for the chance to own a story. A moment in time frozen in silver and copper. Now, here's the part most people miss. Most of these coins haven't been discovered yet. The 1994 P quarter error wasn't widely reported until recently. That means you're ahead of the curve. That means the competition hasn't even started searching yet. That means your window is now. Take this moment seriously. Go grab that old coin jar. Look through those rolls of change in your sock drawer. Go through that dusty box from your grandmother's attic. The mint mark is P. The date is 1994, and the signs of the error include subtle die cracks, off-center strikes, and in some rarer cases, double images or missing features on Washington's profile. And while you're doing that, ask yourself, what would I do with $699,000? What would change in your life if you woke up tomorrow with that check in your hand? Because here's the truth. Someone just like you found one last month in a $10 roll of quarters they bought at a yard sale. They sold it. They're now planning to retire 2 decades early. Will you be next? Or will this be the story you tell yourself after someone else finds the fortune in your own spare change? The choice is yours, but the time is now. Stay tuned. In our next video, we're diving into the 2005 Kansas "In God We Rust" quarter, another $1 million mistake hiding in plain sight. Don't miss it. Until then, keep searching, keep believing, and most importantly, don't underestimate the power of what's in your pocket. You've just unlocked a secret the wealthy have known for years. Subscribe now, turn on notifications, and join thousands of Americans turning coins into cash and dreams into reality. Your future might be one quarter away. What if I told you that a simple quarter, yes, the same one you probably used at a laundromat or dropped in a vending machine years ago, could be worth over $577,000 today? Not a typo. This isn't some dusty museum piece or ultra-rare gold coin from ancient Rome. This is a 1996 D. George Washington quarter dollar, a coin millions of Americans held in their pockets at some point. And one special version of it, with a rare mint error, has stunned collectors by reaching over $500,000 in market value. Sounds unbelievable? Well, hold on to that thought. Because in this video, we're diving deep into the mystery, the money, and the magic of this rare American coin. Whether you're a casual collector or someone cleaning out an old drawer hoping to uncover hidden treasures, you're in the right place. And if your goal is to turn small change into life-changing wealth, stay glued to your screen. This could be your turning point. Picture this. It's the mid-90s. Bill Clinton is president, internet is still a dial-up dream, and millions of 1996 D quarters are rolling out of the Denver Mint. Most of them, ordinary, but a select few, anything but. These rare mistruck coins escaped unnoticed until collectors started spotting them in the wild. Let me pause here and ask, when was the last time you really looked at the coins in your jar? Still think you don't have anything of value? Think again, because that's how it always starts. Someone stumbles upon a coin in a shoebox or inherited change jar, and then boom, a quarter turns into a luxury home or early retirement. Here's where it gets exciting. The 1996 D quarter that has the numismatic world buzzing isn't just any coin. It's an error coin, but not a flaw that reduces its value. No, this kind of error skyrockets it. The most prized versions feature an extreme off-center strike or a double die obverse, making George Washington look a little, let's say, confused. One glance at this coin and even a beginner knows something's off. But in the world of coin collecting, that off means big money. Collectors love rare errors, especially when they're from the US Mint, where strict quality control means very few slip through the cracks. That makes this particular error version not just rare, but practically mythical. And right now, demand is at an all-time high. In early 2025, one of these rare error 1996 D quarters sold for a jaw-dropping $577,000. Yes, for a quarter. Now ask yourself, how many of these might still be out there, forgotten in jars, boxes, or mixed with everyday change? That's the urgency. The treasure could be sitting in your home right now, and someone else could find it before you do. Now, don't go flipping your couch cushions just yet, unless they owe you rent. Stay with me, because the details I'm about to reveal could be the difference between spotting a life-changing coin or letting one slip right past you. And trust me, nobody wants to be the person who unknowingly spent $577,000 on a pack of gum. Right now, the rare coin market is booming. We're seeing record sales, heated auctions, and collectors battling over coins like they're Van Goghs. And the reason is simple. Tangible assets like coins are inflation-proof, highly collectible, and deeply nostalgic. That 1996 D quarter? It's not just money. It's a piece of history, frozen in time, and increasingly scarce if you're someone looking to change your life. Whether it's upgrading your lifestyle, retiring early, or just turning forgotten things into fortune, now's your moment. Because coins like these are in extremely high demand. Dealers, collectors, investors, they're all hunting them. And when you hold something they want, you name your price. So what do you do next? You search. You look through old jars, forgotten boxes, coin rolls. You examine every 1996 quarter that crosses your path. You learn to recognize the error, off-center strike, double die, and subtle signs of misalignment. You turn what others overlook into something priceless. And if you find one, well, that's when your story changes. That's when you go from wondering, what if, to proudly saying, I did. The road to wealth doesn't always begin with risk. It can begin with recognizing value where others see pocket change. And here's the twist. There may be other years, even rarer quarters, hiding right under your nose. In the next video, I'll uncover another US coin error that's currently climbing towards 7 figures in auction value. And it's even more common than the 1996 D quarter. So don't miss it. Subscribe, stay tuned, and most importantly, start looking. Because the difference between ordinary and extraordinary is often just a closer look at a quarter. Like this video if you've ever dreamed of discovering buried treasure in your own home. Drop a comment if you found a rare coin before, or if you're searching right now. And hit that subscribe button, because we're just getting started on the journey to turning small change into massive wealth. Imagine stumbling upon a small piece of metal that's been sitting in your pocket change or tucked away in an old drawer, and discovering it's worth over $500,000. That's not a fantasy. It's the real, jaw-dropping story of the 1995 D. George Washington $quarter coin, hiding an error so rare, it's shaking up the coin-collecting world. Right now, one of these incredible error coins is commanding a staggering $533,000 in today's market. Now, before you think, it's just a quarter, let me stop you right there. Because what if that very coin you almost gave away at the gas station is your ticket to financial freedom? This isn't just about coins. It's about unlocking a lifestyle of abundance, luxury, and peace of mind with something that's already in your possession. Back in 1995 at the Denver Mint, a small minting mishap occurred, one so subtle that millions of Americans overlooked it for decades. But collectors and dealers today are scrambling to find these error quarters because demand is skyrocketing, and supply? Scarce. Scarcity creates value, and in this case, extreme value. And the best part? The average American household could be sitting on one right now, without even knowing it. What makes this quarter so special isn't just the D mint mark stamped beneath Washington's iconic profile. It's the hidden mint error, a misalignment so precise, so rare, that it turns a 25-cent piece into a collector's dream. Think of it as the golden ticket hidden in plain sight. The error typically involves doubling on the obverse or a misstrike that gives the coin unique contours, and investors are paying top dollar for even minor versions. Here's where it gets exciting. One of these coins recently sold for over $533,000 at auction. Yes, $533,000. That's not a rumor. That's a life-changing payday for something you might have tossed into a vending machine. It's almost funny, isn't it? We dig through dusty garages, hunt for lottery tickets, and scroll through online get-rich-quick schemes, and all along, your future could be jingling in a cup holder. So, now you're probably wondering, how do I know if I have one? That's the magic question, and we're going to get to that in just a moment. But first, let's talk about why this market is booming right now. The truth is, coin collecting is no longer just a niche hobby. It's a surging investment strategy, and wealthy buyers are turning to rare coins as secure assets. Think of it like owning art or real estate, except this fits in your palm and appreciates fast. In fact, rare coin values have outpaced gold and stock returns in recent years. The 1995 D quarter with this error is now a white whale, and collectors are paying a premium before prices spike even higher. Let me throw a curveball at you. Why is this quarter worth more than a brand new Porsche? It's not just the rarity, it's the story, the historical fingerprint, the undeniable uniqueness. And once one sells, others start racing to grab the next one. So, the longer you wait, the more competitive and lucrative the game becomes. Now here comes the moment you've been waiting for. To spot this 1995 D-quarter error, you need to look closely, but don't worry, no magnifying lab required. Check for visible doubling, especially around the date or the phrase, "In God we trust." Also, look for die cracks or off-center strikes. If anything looks unusual or misaligned, don't dismiss it. You could be holding your retirement fund in your hand. And here's the twist. Coin dealers and collectors are offering cash on the spot, and auctions are being flooded with offers from private investors. But time is of the essence. As more people uncover this hidden gem, fewer are left untouched in circulation. Every day you wait, the chances of finding one diminish. But if you act now, this tiny coin could deliver massive results. So let me ask you, if someone handed you a check for $500,000 for a coin in your kitchen drawer, would you take it? Or would you let fear, doubt, and procrastination hold you back? Because in this moment, you're standing at a crossroad. Stay where you are, or look just a little deeper, and possibly find the key to a completely different life. A wealthier, freer, more fulfilled life, where your dreams don't just stay dreams. And here's the real kicker. There's another coin, even more valuable, that could be hiding next to this one. But that's a story for our next episode. Subscribe now, turn on the notification bell, and don't miss your chance to uncover the next $1 million coin that might be sitting in your pocket. Because in the world of rare coins, every cent counts, and some are worth everything. You're cleaning out an old drawer, maybe looking for spare change to grab a coffee. You reach in and pull out a simple quarter. Ordinary, worn. You toss it on the counter like it's just another piece of pocket change. But here's the kicker. What if that quarter, specifically a 1994 D Mint Mark George Washington quarter, wasn't just worth 25 cents, but over $510,000? Yes, you heard that right. A single coin, casually forgotten in homes across America, now turning heads at auctions and private collectors' tables. Now let me ask you this. How many of us have overlooked treasure hidden in plain sight? You're about to discover that your path to wealth, your financial breakthrough, could be lying silently in an old coffee can, a dusty box, or a forgotten piggy-banked SO. What makes this 1994 D Washington quarter so valuable? What's the secret locked in this common coin that could transform your bank account overnight? Here's where the story gets fascinating. This isn't just any quarter. The 1994 D Mint Mark quarter contains a rare and dramatic mint error, a striking anomaly that occurred during its production at the Denver Mint. Some of these quarters display double die obverse, off-center strikes, and die cracks that are so visually pronounced they practically scream at you from the metal. These aren't manufacturing defects. They're golden tickets for collectors. In the world of coin collecting, rarity is king, but condition is the crown. The few surviving examples of this error coin in pristine, uncirculated condition have now become the center of a frenzy in the numismatic world. One pristine specimen recently fetched $510,000 at a high-stakes auction. Think about that. One coin, less than the cost of a bottled water, now commanding the price of a luxury home. And don't think for a second this is just luck. These coins are being found, not by experts with fancy equipment, by everyday people, retirees, truck drivers, school teachers, folks who checked their change and uncovered a life-changing fortune. Ever feel like the universe owes you one? Like maybe your scratch-offs keep losing, and your stocks never moon? Well, maybe the universe did give you something, you just haven't checked your coin jar yet. Now let's talk about you. Because here's where it all comes together. You've just heard the story, you've seen the facts, and you're probably wondering, could I have one of these coins? The answer? You won't know until you look. And believe me, right now is the time to check. Demand for rare quarters has skyrocketed. We're seeing a surge in interest from international collectors, hedge fund buyers, and legacy coin firms, all scrambling to secure pieces of American monetary history. And as supply tightens, the prices only go one way. Up. Don't wait until these coins are gone, hoarded by investors or locked away in private vaults. The market is hot, and your moment to strike is now. If you've ever dreamed of selling an old coin and walking away with enough to retire early, travel the world, or finally upgrade your lifestyle, you owe it to yourself to act. And here's the wildest part. The 1994 D quarter isn't the only coin like this out there. In fact, there's an entire hidden world of rare error coins that could be hiding right under your nose, worth thousands, even millions. In our next video, we're going to reveal the top 5 hidden coin errors that are currently flipping lives across the country. But before that, go now. Check your drawers, your jars, your glove compartments. Examine every 1994 D Washington quarter you find. If you see odd marks, unusual doubling, strange spacing, or a misaligned strike, you might be staring at your financial miracle. Because here's the truth. Wealthy people don't always earn more. They notice more. They capitalize on the small opportunities most people overlook. This isn't just about a coin. This is about changing your mindset, training your eyes to see what others miss. And today, it could start with the quarter in your pocket. So, are you going to be the one who let $510,000 slip through your fingers, or the one who finally cashes in? Subscribe, turn on notifications, and join our growing community of everyday Americans unlocking millionaire moments, one coin at a time. Your fortune is waiting. What if I told you that a simple coin, tossed in a drawer or hiding under your car seat, could be worth over $410,000 today? Sounds crazy, right? But it's true, and right now, people just like you are cashing in. Imagine finding one of these rare coins tucked away in an old change jar, and it instantly changes your life. This isn't a fantasy. It's happening. And it could happen to you. We're talking about the legendary 1984 D Mint Mark George Washington $quarter coin with a jaw-dropping mint error. One that has turned heads in the collector's world and stunned even seasoned numismatists. This isn't just a rare coin. It's a treasure hiding in plain sight. A single mistake at the Denver Mint 40 years ago could now be your golden ticket to a new, wealthier lifestyle. And the best part? You don't have to go digging in a mountain cave or bidding in secret auctions in Switzerland. You might already own one. But wait, don't go running to your sock drawer just yet. Because what we're about to uncover in the next few minutes could be the most valuable information you hear all year. Stay with me, and by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to look for, how to authenticate it, and yes, how people are selling these for hundreds of thousands of dollars. Your journey to possible fortune starts right now. Back in 1984, the Denver Mint was churning out millions of Washington quarters like any other year. But amidst this routine process, a small, almost unnoticeable mint error occurred. Some of these quarters left the mint with a striking flaw, an off-center strike, a doubled die, or a unique misalignment in the D mint mark that collectors now drool over. To the untrained eye, it's just a quarter. But to those who know, it's a $410,000 miracle of metal. Now, before you assume this is just another maybe someday opportunity, let me hit you with a reality check. These coins are in circulation. They're being found in estate sales, coin jars, flea markets, and even in regular bankrolls. That's right. Someone once bought a candy bar with what could have been a near $500,000 coin. Ouch. What gives this coin its six-figure value isn't just the error itself. It's the combination of rarity, condition, and collector demand. Coin collectors, and let's call them what they really are, treasure hunters in suits, are fiercely competing to own this piece of U.S. minting history. And because the market is red-hot, values have surged. One recently sold for over $410,000 in a private auction, with multiple bidders fighting tooth and nail to claim it. You can almost hear the auctioneer sweating. Now here's a quick pattern interrupt. Have you checked your car's cup holder lately? No, really. That might just be the most valuable glove box in America. The idea that you could be one moment away from discovering a fortune isn't just exciting. It's real. And we're not done yet, so let's talk about you. What happens after you discover one of these rare coins? This is where the real fun begins. The current demand for rare error coins has never been higher. With platforms like Heritage Auctions, Great Collections, and eBay's elite coin networks, sellers are getting life-changing payouts, fast. Collectors are waiting. Dealers are circling. The market is practically begging for more of these error coins, and the 1984 D Mint Mark Washington quarter is one of the most coveted among them. And with inflation on the rise and traditional investments faltering, more Americans are turning to rare coins as a safe haven asset. That means competition, urgency, and sky-high offers. But here's the kicker. Only a handful of these coins have been verified. That means scarcity. That means exclusivity. That means opportunity. If you have one, or even think you have one, this could be your moment. Just imagine what $410,000 could do for your future. Pay off the house, Buy your dream car. Invest, travel, breathe easier. That's not just money. That's freedom. Don't wait until someone else finds it in your old shoebox and cashes in. Don't be the "I almost had it" story. Be the story. Take the time today to look. Flip through that drawer, shake that coin jar, search those bank rolls, and when you find something that looks off, you might just be looking at the most profitable mistake in minting history. Now, before we end, here's your cliffhanger. In our next video, we're revealing another overlooked US coin that's recently hit a $2 million valuation, and it's even more common than this quarter. Make sure you're subscribed, because missing that would be like tossing away a winning lottery ticket. Imagine digging through a jar of old coins on your dresser, and suddenly realizing you're holding a simple 1966 Washington quarter. Ordinary? Not quite. What if I told you that exact coin, with no mint mark, could sell for as much as $410,000 today? That's not a typo. That's life-changing money. From a coin most people wouldn't even glance at twice. But here's the catch. Only a few people even know what to look for, and time is running out. The year was 1966. America was in the middle of sweeping changes: the space race, civil rights, a cultural revolution. But beneath that, in the quiet, humming machines of the US Mint, a small mistake was made. A coin was struck, missing one tiny but important detail: a mint mark. This detail alone transformed a regular quarter into one of the rarest and most sought-after coins in modern US history. Now you might be thinking, no mint mark? So what? But that's exactly where most people go wrong. You see, during this period, mint marks were intentionally left off coins due to a temporary policy by the mint, which means only a few extremely rare errors slipped through with exceptional striking or composition quirks. And when that happens, collectors go wild. We're not just talking about hobbyists, we're talking about elite numismatists, high-end investors, and private collectors all battling in secret auctions for rare pieces like this. The 1966 no mint mark quarter, especially those with unique errors or superb condition, has become a golden goose in disguise. Let's talk value. A verified, high-grade specimen of the 1966 Washington quarter, the one without a mint mark, struck with an ultra-rare die error, recently fetched $410,000 in a private sale. That's nearly $500,000 for 25 cents. What's more, the demand is skyrocketing. The numismatic market is exploding right now, especially with more Americans turning to hard assets, collectibles, and tangible wealth. Coin auctions are breaking records. Social media is lighting up with collectors and flippers. And that dusty jar of coins in your kitchen drawer? It might be your ticket to a wealthy lifestyle you never imagined. Quick question to reset your brain. If your quarter's worth more than your car, who's the real clunker? Back to reality. This isn't just a story of coins. This is a story of opportunity hiding in plain sight. You don't need to mine Bitcoin or play the stock market to change your financial future. You might already own the treasure. The only question is, do you know what you're looking for? Here's where things get urgent. The 1966 no mint mark quarter becomes valuable under very specific conditions. It must be in pristine condition, preferably MS66 or higher, and must feature die errors, such as doubling or striking anomalies. These coins aren't just rare, they're unicorns. But unlike unicorns, they're real and they're out there, possibly in your pocket change right now. Think about that. A single overlooked coin could be your bridge from financial stress to total freedom. No debt, a luxury lifestyle, that vacation home you always dreamed of. And the best part? You don't have to be an expert. You just have to look. But here's the cliffhanger. How do you tell the difference between a 25-cent quarter and a $410,000 treasure? What tools do you need? What exact signs should you spot? Don't worry. I'll be revealing exactly how to authenticate and where to sell these coins in the next video. And believe me, you don't want to miss that. Until then, go check your drawers. Dig into your piggy banks. Ask your grandparents. Because someone is going to find that next $1 million coin. The question is, will it be you? So, if you've ever dreamed of living life on your terms, waking up when you want, traveling where you please, never worrying about bills again, now is your moment. And it might just start with a coin no bigger than a bottle cap. Stay tuned, stay curious, and start searching. Your wealth is waiting. Make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications because in the next video, I'll show you the exact process to grade, verify, and sell these rare coins for maximum value. Don't leave your fortune sitting in a jar. Go find it. What if I told you that the loose change in your drawer could change your life? Imagine pulling out a quarter from 1986, just an ordinary-looking coin, and discovering it's not just worth 25 cents, but potentially $510,000. Yes, you heard that right. $500,000. This isn't a rumor or some coin collector fantasy. This is real. And it's happening right now in the red-hot coin market of 2025. Before you toss away your pocket change or overlook that dusty jar of coins, ask yourself, could you be holding a 1986 Mint Mark George Washington quarter that collectors are fighting to get their hands on? In this video, we're diving deep into the story behind this jaw-dropping error coin, how it was made, why it's so rare, and how you can tell if you have one. Stay with me until the very end because we'll uncover the exact traits to look for and what makes this coin not just rare, but explosively valuable. And hey, if you think this is just another boring history lesson, don't worry. This is about wealth, legacy, and turning the forgotten into fortune. So grab a drink, silence your phone, and pay close attention, because the next 10 minutes might be the most profitable minutes of your week. Let's take a time machine back to 1986. Reagan was president. Gas was under $1. And somewhere in the heart of the Philadelphia Mint, an accident was quietly happening. A striking error, an extremely rare minting mistake, was made on a small batch of Washington quarters. But no one noticed. These quarters were released into circulation, unnoticed, passed from hand to hand for decades. But here's the kicker. Due to a rare misalignment and die clash, these 1986 quarters with the P mint mark ended up with abnormal features that would later send shockwaves through the coin collecting world. You see, the coin looks mostly normal at first glance, but under the surface, it's a collector's dream. Now, why is this error so rare? Because not only were these error coins few in number, but most of them were lost to circulation, destroyed, forgotten, except a precious few. And today, the market is exploding with demand from elite collectors who are willing to pay outrageous sums just to get their hands on one. Let me ask you a wild question. How would your life change if you found out that little coin in your junk drawer could pay off your mortgage? Or buy your dream car in cash? That's what happened to one unsuspecting man in Ohio, who recently sold a 1986 P error quarter for over $500,000. And here's the twist, he almost threw it away. True story. Why are these coins valued so high? It's the perfect storm. Rarity, condition, historical relevance, and above all, massive collector demand. In today's economy, people are looking for tangible assets. And rare coins like this, they're the new gold. The numismatic world is booming, and dealers are scrambling to acquire high-value error coins before the prices soar even further. Here's something that'll make you laugh. One collector compared owning this quarter to finding a signed Picasso in your garage. And honestly, he's not wrong. These coins don't just represent money. They represent history, mystery, and prestige. Having one in your possession isn't just lucky. It's legendary. So, how do you know if you've struck gold? Well, I'll get to that in just a moment. But first, imagine the look on your neighbor's face when you tell them your quarter's worth more than their car. Yeah. Let that visual sink in. Now comes the moment you've been waiting for. How do you spot this rare 1986 P Mint Mark quarter? First, you need to check the obverse, the front of the coin. Look carefully at George Washington's profile. A known error involves a double die strike, where features like the date and liberty appear slightly shadowed or doubled. There may also be a die clash, where faint impressions from the reverse bleed through to the front. And yes, it must have the P mint mark. That's non-negotiable. But don't stop there. The condition matters too. Coins in mint state, those that look untouched, can fetch hundreds of thousands. Even moderately circulated examples are selling for thousands right now in verified auctions. The market is red hot, and collectors are lining up. There's urgency here, my friend. Every day, more of these rare quarters are found, bought, and locked away in private collections, never to be seen again. You don't want to be the one who found it too late. Or worse, had it and let it go for face value. So here's what you do next. Go through your coin jars. Ask your parents. Look in your old wallets, drawers, piggy banks. And if you find anything remotely close, don't clean it, don't spend it, just get it appraised. Immediately. You deserve the life of freedom and comfort that wealth can bring. You deserve to turn your forgotten coins into a ticket to the lifestyle you've always dreamed of. And this one small quarter? It might just be your golden key. Subscribe if you want to learn what other rare coins are out there and how to sell them for maximum profit. Because this isn't just about coins, it's about opportunity. And opportunity doesn't knock twice. What if I told you that a single coin, forgotten in a jar, tossed in a drawer, or hiding in plain sight in your home, could be worth over $788,000 today? Yes, you heard that right. A simple 1997 P Mint mark George Washington quarter dollar, an everyday coin you may have handled 1,000 times, is making headlines across the rare coin market. Not because it's old, but because of a rare error that's turning average Americans into overnight millionaires. Before you skip ahead, listen closely. This isn't just another rare coin hype. This is your once-in-a-lifetime window to uncover real hidden wealth that might be sitting in your change jar right now. Imagine the feeling of cashing in a quarter for the price of a luxury home. Sounds insane? Maybe, but it's real. And people just like you are doing it. Let's rewind for a moment to 1997. A time of dial-up internet, VHS tapes, and Beanie Babies. While most of us were focused on life, love, and daily routines, the U.S. Mint in Philadelphia quietly released a batch of George Washington quarters with a subtle but powerful mistake. One so rare, it went unnoticed for years. But as collectors and dealers began digging deeper, the truth surfaced. These error coins weren't just collectible. They were extremely valuable. And here's where it gets wild. This specific coin, with the seemingly insignificant P Mint mark, has recently been valued in the market for $788,000 due to a critical error in its production. Let that sink in. A quarter, worth more than most luxury cars. Now you might be asking, what's the error? How do I know if I have one? And most importantly, how can I cash in? Don't worry, we're getting to all that. But first, and I promise you'll want to hear this, let's talk about why time is running out and why now is the moment to act. The 1997 P quarter in question has what collectors call a double die reverse error, an anomaly in the minting process where the die strikes the coin twice, slightly offset, creating a ghost-like doubling effect on the inscriptions and images. In particular, the phrase United States of America and quarter dollar often show this unusual doubling. To the untrained eye, it's subtle. To a collector, it's a goldmine. But here's the real kicker. Many of these coins are still in circulation. Yes, while you're buying a coffee, tipping your waiter, or emptying your pockets at the end of the day, you could be holding something worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. Think about that. The coin you flick onto the counter without a second thought might just be your ticket to a completely different life. And let's break the tension with a little humor. If you've ever dropped a quarter in a vending machine and didn't get your snack, you might have actually gained $788,000 and just didn't know it. Funny, right? Or tragically ironic. Now here's where the story gets even better. Because of rising demand, the market for rare coins, especially error coins like this one, has exploded. Major auction houses, private collectors, and even financial investors are actively hunting for specimens of this 1997 P quarter. And they're willing to pay top dollar. This is no longer just a hobby, it's a wealth strategy. Still skeptical? Don't be. One verified sale of this coin in pristine condition, with the error clearly visible, reached $788,000, and it didn't sit in the auction house long. The buzz is real, and prices are only going up. So now, you're not just watching a video, you're participating in a treasure hunt. One that could change your financial future forever. But wait, what if your coin is almost perfect but has a minor scratch? Is it still worth something? Or how about if the doubling isn't obvious? Can professionals still authenticate it and get you a serious payday? We'll answer that in just a moment, and the truth may surprise you. But first, let me ask you something. When was the last time you checked your change jar? Seriously, because if you're like most people, it's been months, maybe years. And that little jar could be the most valuable thing in your house. Here's what you need to do. After this video, go check your change. Look for any 1997 George Washington quarters with a P Mint mark. That's the tiny letter just above the R in quarter on the coin's front side. Look closely at the letters on the back. Is there any doubling in the text? Any unusual outlines? Even if you're unsure, don't panic. You don't need to be a coin expert. There are trusted appraisers, grading services, and collectors out there who are hungry for these coins and ready to make you an offer. And yes, even less than perfect specimens can fetch tens of thousands. You see, wealth doesn't always come from hard labor or corporate ladders. Sometimes it comes from knowing where to look and having the courage to check. And for you, that wealth might be sitting in a drawer, quietly waiting for this moment, so don't wait. The demand is high, the market is hot, and opportunities like this don't last forever. Every day, more of these rare coins are being found, and once they're accounted for, the chances of discovering one decrease dramatically. That's the urgency. That's the fear of missing out. But you're ahead of the curve now. You were meant to find this video today. This is your signal. Maybe it's more than a coin. Maybe it's the turning point in your financial journey. A step toward that lifestyle you've always dreamed of. Not just surviving, but living fully. Traveling, investing, giving your family the life they deserve. All starting with one rare, overlooked piece of metal. And hey, before you go flipping your entire couch over looking for change, make sure you subscribe, because in our next episode, we're uncovering another penny worth over $2 million that's even more common than you think. You don't want to miss that. What if I told you there could be a forgotten coin sitting in your drawer right now, casually hiding in plain sight, that's worth over $733,000? You heard that right. A single 1998 P. George Washington quarter dollar, minted with a rare and extraordinary error, has taken the coin-collecting world by storm and is now one of the most coveted treasures in U.S. coin history. And here's the catch. It looks just like any other quarter, until you know what to look for. Now, before you brush this off as just another story about old coins, let me ask you something. How many quarters have you handled in your life? Hundreds? Thousands? And what if just one of them held the key to a new lifestyle? A lifestyle of early retirement, luxury vacations, or even funding your dream business. Sounds too good to be true? Stick with me, because this isn't fantasy. This is the reality of a rare error coin that's shaken the market and minted life-changing wealth for those lucky enough to spot it. Back in 1998, at the Philadelphia Mint, a small batch of quarters was struck with an astonishing minting error. An error so rare, it transformed a simple 25-cent piece into a six-figure jackpot. This wasn't your everyday misprint. We're talking about a misalignment in the die and doubling in the obverse that makes numismatists' hearts race. This error wasn't caught by the mint, but it sure caught the attention of elite collectors and high-end auction houses. So how did a plain-looking coin go from soda machines to Sotheby's? It all comes down to rarity, demand, and timing. The 1998 P quarter with this specific mint error isn't just rare. It's nearly mythical. And because very few exist in high-grade condition, demand has skyrocketed. In a recent high-profile auction, one pristine example fetched an eye-watering $733,000, sending shockwaves through the entire numismatic world. Now, here's the kicker. There could be more of them still out there. Think about that for a second. Somewhere in America, maybe in a penny jar, an old wallet, or inside the cushion of a car seat, one of these coins might be waiting, just waiting to be discovered. The only question is, will it be you who finds it? Let's pause here for just a moment, because this isn't just a story about rare coins. This is about opportunity, about hidden wealth lying in plain sight, about rewriting your financial future by being observant, curious, and just a bit lucky. Now I know what you're thinking. What are the chances? This can't happen to me. But tell that to the Michigan man who stumbled upon one of these error quarters while sorting through a coin collection left by his late father. That single coin paid off his mortgage. Not someday. Not eventually. Right then and there.
No crypto. No stocks. No hustle.
Just a coin he almost gave away at a yard sale. And if you're still not checking your change drawer by now, well, maybe this isn't the video for you. But if you're serious about wealth building, about seizing rare chances when they appear, then lean in, because we're just getting to the good part. Let's get practical. The 1998 P quarter with the error is most notably characterized by a distinct doubling on the obverse, particularly around Washington's profile and the word liberty. There may also be irregularities in the date and a noticeable weakness in the strike around the edge due to the die misalignment. Still with me? Good, because here's the million-dollar lesson. Even if you're not a professional coin grader, you can still spot this error with the naked eye. Collectors are actively scouring online marketplaces, estate sales, and private collections to hunt down this exact coin. Why? Because the value is only climbing. In just the last year, the interest in rare quarter errors has exploded, and coins that once fetched a few thousand are now seeing six-figure valuations. That means the 1998 P quarter is in high demand, and its market trajectory is looking more bullish than ever. And here's a quick laugh break for you. Imagine handing a $733,000 quarter to a vending machine just to get a bag of chips. Now that's an expensive snack. Now I know you're wondering, okay, but how do I find out if I have one of these rare coins? What's the exact test? What tools do I need? Where can I sell it? Perfect questions, and here's the twist. In the final section of this video, I'm going to tell you exactly what steps to take if you think you've got the golden goose in your possession. But first, a quick warning. There are fakes out there, and knowing how to tell the difference is what separates those who get rich from those who get ripped off. So here's what you do. First, grab a magnifier, 10x preferably, and start checking your quarters, especially the ones with the 1998 date and the Philadelphia Mint mark, that tiny P. Look for signs of doubling on Washington's face or inconsistencies in the inscriptions. Next, if you think you've found something, do not clean the coin. That's right, no soap, no polish, no chemicals. Leave it as is. Then, reach out to a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC to get it authenticated. The cost of grading is peanuts compared to the potential payoff. And once verified, high-end auction houses and serious collectors will line up to make offers, because demand is sizzling hot. Imagine the moment you hold that coin in your hand, knowing your life just changed. Imagine the look on your spouse's face when you tell them you turned 25 cents into nearly $750,000. That's not just luck. That's knowing what to look for. That's being ready when opportunity knocks. And here's the final secret. This isn't the only coin out there worth a fortune. In fact, in the next video, I'll reveal another common US coin that could make you a millionaire. One that might be even more overlooked than the 1998 P quartered SO. Make sure you subscribe, hit that notification bell, and start checking your change. Because wealth doesn't always come in big packages. Sometimes it jingles in your pocket. Welcome back to our channel. Discover the most valuable Washington quarter-dollar coins. Some worth hundreds of thousands to even millions of dollars. If you've ever held onto old coins, inherited a collection, or just enjoy treasure hunting, this is the video that could change your life. There's no way this old quarter could be worth more than a cup of coffee? Well, think again, because there's a 1981 Washington quarter with a small P mint mark that's turning heads in the collector's world, and it's valued at a jaw-dropping $566,000. Yes, you heard that right, $566,000 for a coin you might already own. And in this video, I'm going to walk you through exactly why this coin is so valuable, how to identify it, and how you can turn what looks like pocket change into a potential fortune. But more than that, we're going to talk about how finding a coin like this can completely change the trajectory of your life. Because let's face it, most people dream about financial freedom, but few realize it might be hiding in their coin jar. And before you assume this is one of those too good to be true stories, hang on. By the end of this video, you'll understand the exact reasons collectors are willing to pay hundreds of thousands for this rare coin, and how everyday people just like you, are quietly cashing in and transforming their lives in the process. Now, let's dive into the story behind this extraordinary coin. The 1981 Washington quarter with the P mint mark was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, a facility not usually known for eye-popping rarities. But this one, is different. A small minting error turned this ordinary quarter into one of the most sought-after US coins in recent memory. It's like that scene in a heist movie when someone opens a safe expecting a few $100 and instead finds stacks of gold bars. That's how collectors feel about this coin. This particular 1981 P quarter features a dramatic misstrike, an off-center strike, missing design elements, or even an ultra-rare double die error. And here's the kicker. Only a handful of these have ever surfaced in pristine condition. That's what makes it so rare, And that's why serious collectors, many of them wealthy investors, are fighting to add it to their collections. The latest verified sale? $566,000. That's not a typo. That's life-changing money. And just imagine for a moment, what would you do if you discovered you had one? A new house? Pay off debt? Travel the world? Or maybe finally start that dream business you've put off for years? The possibilities are endless, but only for those who take action. But here's the wild part. Most people have no idea what they're sitting on. These coins are still out there, in junk drawers, in mason jars, in your parents' attic. And yes, even in that old coffee can full of spare change. You see where this is going, right? I mean, if quarters could talk, yours might be screaming, "Take me to a coin dealer already," or whispering, "I'm worth more than your car." Now, let's talk about you. Because chances are you're not watching this video by accident. Maybe you've been holding on to old coins, not really knowing what to do with them. Or maybe you've heard rumors that certain coins are worth big money, but you've never really looked deeper. Well, consider this your wake-up call. The 1981 P quarter is just the tip of the iceberg. There's a booming community of collectors right now, dealers, investors, and even celebrities who are driving up demand for rare US coins. It's not just about collecting anymore. It's about building wealth. Tangible, generational, tax-efficient wealth. That's why this market is exploding, and coins like the 1981 P are skyrocketing in value. And this isn't just hype. Every month, auctions are setting new records. Coins once worth $50 are selling for $5,000. Coins once ignored are becoming family legacies. This is your chance to get ahead before the rest of the world catches on. But I have to ask, are you going to be the person who finds a six-figure quarter and does something about it? Or are you going to be the one who hears about this years from now and thinks, "I had one of those, I just didn't know"? Coming up in our next video, I'm going to show you 3 other coins from the 1980s, yes, the 80s, that are currently commanding 5 and 6 figures at auction, and most people have no idea they're valuable. But before you click away, make sure you check your coins. Look for that P mint mark, inspect for errors, and get it appraised by a trusted coin expert. This coin could be the golden ticket you've been waiting for. Because let's be real, you're not here just for coin talk. You're here because you want more freedom, more wealth, a better life. And sometimes, that starts with something as small as a quarter. So take this seriously. Search your coins tonight. The 1981 P quarter might be waiting for you. If you found this valuable, subscribe for more life-changing coin discoveries, and share this with someone who might be sitting on a fortune and not even know it. Remember, one coin can change everything. Is it sitting in your drawer? Have you ever glanced at the change in your pocket and wondered if you're unknowingly holding on to a small fortune? Imagine this. A single quarter, yes, just 25 cents, could be your ticket to a new life worth over $666,000. Sounds impossible, right? But it's not. There's a rare 1983 Washington quarter with a small P mint mark that has stunned the coin-collecting world, and right now, it's exploding in value. This isn't just another collector's story. It's a real opportunity unfolding before your eyes. People across America are turning old pocket change into six-figure paydays. You could be next. So, before you spend that quarter on a vending machine snack, watch closely, because what you learn in the next few minutes could change your life forever. Let's rewind the clock to 1983, a year when the U.S. Mint faced severe production issues due to economic cutbacks. Unlike other years, no official mint sets were produced, which led to quality control lapses. As a result, several error coins slipped through the cracks, including one incredibly rare specimen from the Philadelphia Mint. Now, here's where it gets truly fascinating. This 1983 P Washington quarter is unlike anything you'd expect. Not only does it exhibit a unique die error, but its rarity is compounded by its near-perfect condition. One of these recently surfaced at auction and sold for a staggering $666,000. That's the value of a luxury home, from a coin you could have sitting in your junk drawer right now. But why is this particular quarter commanding such astronomical prices? What makes it different from the billions of others minted? Stay with me because the answer is as thrilling as it is lucrative, and you need to know what to look for. Let's talk specifics. The 1983 P. Washington quarter's high value comes from a spectacular error, a double die reverse, featuring visibly distorted lettering and design elements. Combined with its historical rarity and pristine condition, this coin has become a white whale for collectors. The U.S. Mint's quality issues in the early 80s created a perfect storm that makes this particular coin a treasure. And here's the kicker. It's not the only one out there. Experts believe several more are still in circulation, forgotten, unnoticed, or gathering dust in boxes of unsorted change. This means your personal coin collection, or even your old family change jar, could be hiding a windfall. Can you imagine finding a single coin and suddenly having more than $500,000 to your name? Let's pause and ask a serious question. What would you do with $666,000? Pay off debts? Buy that dream house? Finally retire early and live the life you deserve? Just picture it. Because for some people, that dream has already come true, and their only secret was knowing what to look for. And no, this isn't one of those late-night infomercials where someone magically finds treasure in their couch cushions. Although, if you are the type who drops coins in the sofa, today might be the day it pays off. The coin market is on fire right now. With inflation rising and more people seeking tangible assets, rare U.S. coins, especially error coins, are in higher demand than ever. Collectors, investors, even museums are scrambling to get their hands on these pieces. That's why the 1983 P quarter's value has skyrocketed. In fact, the current coin market is being described by experts as a perfect storm for sellers. But here's the urgent part: you have to act now. Every month, more of these coins are found, appraised, and sold. That window of scarcity is what gives it value. If you wait too long, the market could shift, and your once-in-a-lifetime opportunity could vanish. So, how do you know if your quarter is the right one? And what do you do if you find it? Hold on, because we're getting to the most critical part. First, grab your magnifying glass, or better yet, your phone camera. Check any 1983 quarters in your possession, particularly those with the small P mint mark. Look closely at the reverse side, the eagle, the lettering, the spacing. Are there any unusual doublings? Any odd imperfections? Even a minor anomaly could be the clue that launches your fortune. And if you do find something, don't rush to sell to the first buyer. These coins are in huge demand, and you deserve top dollar. Get it professionally appraised, and reach out to credible coin auction houses that specialize in rare U.S. currency. You might be surprised by just how aggressive buyers will be to get their hands on your piece. Now, before we wrap up, I'll leave you with this cliffhanger. There's another coin, similar in age, just as rare, but even more valuable, and almost no one knows about it. In our next video, I'll reveal what it is, how to spot it, and why it could make this quarter look like pocket change in comparison. Your journey to wealth might not start in a boardroom or on Wall Street. It might start right in your kitchen drawer with a single coin. The world of rare coins is full of hidden fortune, and it's waiting for those wise enough to recognize the signs. Don't just watch this video, act on it. Because while others are still overlooking the value in their everyday change, you could be cashing in. Make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications, because your $1 million coin could be next. And when that day comes, you'll be ready. Have you ever walked past an old coin on your dresser and thought, just a quarter? What if I told you that one of those ordinary-looking coins could be hiding $500,000 in plain sight? That's not a typo. $499,000. And it's not some collector's fantasy. It's the real, verified market value of a rare 1998 Washington quarter with a tiny yet powerful detail. A P mint mark and a coin error that's lighting the numismatic world on fire. Now, before you go flipping your change jar upside down, stick with me. Because in the next few minutes, you're going to learn why this seemingly common coin has become one of the most sought-after rarities in American coin history, and how you might already have one sitting silently in your home. This is your chance to tap into the hidden wealth most people overlook and start your journey toward a lifestyle that few ever dare to dream of. Let's rewind to 1998. The internet was dial-up slow, gas was $1 a gallon, and nobody had any idea that a coin struck that year in Philadelphia would one day be worth more than a luxury home. The Washington quarter, long respected but rarely celebrated, suddenly gained a legendary twist when a batch of error coins was discovered, minted incorrectly yet perfectly preserved. Now, here's the twist that turns ordinary into extraordinary. The 1998 P Washington quarter has a misstrike error, an anomaly during the minting process. This isn't your run-of-the-mill scratch or dent. It's a precise, rare error that collectors are fighting over like it's a modern-day gold rush. Coins with this error are so scarce, the market demand has exploded, and bidding wars are pushing values into the stratosphere. One pristine example, recently appraised at a jaw-dropping $499,000. You may be wondering, okay, but why should I care? Here's where it gets real. Millions of these coins were minted, but only a microscopic fraction have the error. That means they're hiding in plain sight, maybe in a sock drawer, a forgotten coin album, or a change dish at your parents' house. And with interest in collectible coins reaching historic highs, fueled by inflation fears, the shift to digital money, and wealthy investors looking for hard assets, your window to cash in is shrinking by the day. The most dangerous thing you can do right now is assume you don't have one. Ask yourself, when was the last time you checked your old coins? Do you even know what to look for? Because this 1998 P quarter isn't just valuable. It's part of a massive shift in wealth happening right now. We're talking about everyday people uncovering fortunes from their childhood piggy banks. It's like lottery odds, except the ticket might already be in your hands. And just in case your attention is starting to wander, let's break it up. Imagine explaining to your spouse that you found $500,000 in the junk drawer. Honey, we're moving to Florida. Wouldn't that make dinner a little more interesting? So what exactly makes this quarter so valuable? It's all about the minting error, an off-center strike or a double die that's nearly impossible to replicate. Authentication by reputable grading companies like PCGS or NGC confirms its rarity. And once confirmed, collectors and investors come running. The best part? The market isn't just hungry, it's starving. This isn't a saturated niche. We're talking private sales, live auctions, even hedge fund managers entering the numismatic space. And when a 25-cent piece commands nearly $500,000, the message is clear. Rarity is the new currency. Here's the moment of truth. If you're serious about transforming forgotten coins into serious money, this is your wake-up call. Because every day you wait, another lucky collector cashes in. You don't need to be an expert. You just need to be curious, open-eyed, and ready to act. Start by checking your 1998 quarters. Look for the P mint mark. Examine them for strike anomalies. And if you think you've got something special, get it graded. Fast. Stay with me because in the next video, I'm going to show you exactly how to identify this error with your own eyes and how to sell it for top dollar without getting lowballed. Trust me, you don't want to miss it. Because while some people scroll past their fortune every single day, others, people just like you, are discovering that wealth has been in their hands all along. It's not about luck. It's about knowing where to look. So, what's in your pocket? Subscribe now and turn on notifications, because next, we'll break down the top 5 coin errors that are paying out 5 and 6 figures in 2025. This journey is just getting started, and your millionaire lifestyle might be one coin away. Have you ever held a simple quarter in your hand and thought, it's just 25 cents, right? What if I told you that the same quarter, yes, a 2021 Washington quarter with a small P mint mark, could actually be worth over $222,000 today? Imagine unknowingly using a fortune to buy a soda at a gas station. Sounds insane? Well, it's happening, and one such rare coin has exploded in value, shaking up the coin-collecting world and making ordinary Americans sudden millionaires. Stay with me, because by the end of this video, you'll not only learn how to spot this incredibly valuable coin, but you'll also see how a tiny minting error is turning pocket change into a wealthy lifestyle upgrade. We're not talking old dusty coins hidden in treasure chests. We're talking modern-day money, straight from your own loose change jar. And the clock is ticking because demand is skyrocketing. The story begins in 2021, a year many remember for change, uncertainty, and for some, opportunity. The U.S. Mint released the Washington quarter featuring General George Washington crossing the Delaware, an homage to American resilience. But buried among millions of these coins, a few very rare specimens emerged from the Philadelphia Mint with a mysterious and highly profitable flaw. This error isn't a rumor. It's a confirmed anomaly that dealers and collectors are desperately hunting for right now. Before we dive into what makes this coin so special, ask yourself, what's sitting in your pocket right now? What's lying in your car's cup holder or hidden in that old coffee can in the attic? Because one of those might just hold your way out of the 9 to 5 grind and into financial freedom. The 2021 Washington quarter with the P mint mark has a known strike error, a minting defect caused during the coin's creation that makes it one of a kind. These errors can appear as double dies, off-center strikes, or die breaks, and they immediately turn a common coin into a rare collector's dream. One particular version of this error recently sold for a staggering $222,000 at auction. That's not a typo. That's the kind of life-changing money that's usually reserved for lottery winners or real estate moguls. Think about this. How many 2021 quarters have passed through your hands without a second thought? While you were tossing coins into a vending machine, someone else was cashing in on one of these for more than a Ferrari costs. This isn't about luck. It's about awareness. Coin collectors are going into overdrive. Dealers are increasing their bids daily. Private collectors are offering premium prices before these coins even hit the open market. It's no exaggeration to say this coin is in high demand. And supply? Well, it's drying up faster than a puddle in the Mojave Desert. Here's where it gets even more intense. Most people have no idea what to look for. That's why this moment right now is so important. Because you are getting the upper hand. Let's pause for a second. Imagine explaining to your spouse that your new luxury SUV came from a quarter you found under the couch cushions. Yeah, honey, I vacuumed and found a Washington era quarter. We're rich now. Think they'd believe you? Probably not, until the check clears. The fear of missing out here is real and justified. These rare coins are quietly being snapped up by savvy collectors while the average person continues to overlook them. The excitement is contagious. The urgency, undeniable. Because once these error coins are locked in private collections, the window for finding yours closes. If you've ever dreamed of paying off your mortgage, starting your own business, or traveling first class around the world, this might be your shot. Not tomorrow, not someday, now. Let me be absolutely clear. This is not just hype. Professional grading services like PCGS and NGC have verified and authenticated these error coins, assigning them top-tier value based on their condition, rarity, and error precision. And yes, multiple specimens have surpassed 6 figures in value. So here's what you do next. Go through your spare change. Check your coin jars. Look for 2021 Washington quarters with a P mint mark. Look for unusual markings, misalignments, doubling, strange cuts, or extra lines. If you spot anything that seems off, get it appraised immediately, because someone out there just found a quarter that was worth more than their house. This is your call to action, your moment to turn curiosity into capital. You don't need a degree in numismatics. You don't need a coin collection passed down from your grandfather. All you need is attention, awareness, and a little ambition. And here's the kicker. This isn't the only coin out there turning heads. There are even more modern era coins currently flying under the radar, and in our next video, I'm going to expose another coin from the 2000s that could be worth even more than this one, but barely anyone knows about it. You won't want to miss that. But for now, keep your eyes on your quarters. One of them could be the beginning of your next chapter, one of freedom, wealth, and finally living life on your terms. Because sometimes, the road to millions starts with 25 cents. The universe has a funny way of hiding treasure in plain sight. Today, you've just uncovered a map. Now, the next move is yours. Make sure to like, subscribe, and share this video with someone who needs a little hope, and maybe a push toward checking that forgotten coin stash. Because financial freedom might just be jingling in your pocket right now. Have you ever walked past an old jar of coins? Or maybe a dusty drawer full of pocket change, thinking it's nothing more than clutter? What if I told you that one of those forgotten quarters could be worth over $622,000 right now? No, that's not a typo. There's a 1990 Washington quarter dollar with a P mint mark, a common-looking coin hiding a once-in-a-lifetime error that is changing lives, turning everyday people into overnight millionaires. Imagine waking up one morning, sipping your coffee, flipping through your old coin collection, and realizing that the shiny quarter in your hand isn't worth 25 cents. It's worth more than a brand new Lamborghini. Sounds like a fantasy, doesn't it? But this isn't a dream. It's real and it's happening right now to people just like you. And here's the kicker. Most people have no idea. They're literally sitting on a gold mine without ever knowing it. Coins like this 1990 P quarter are in high demand. Not just because they're rare, but because the world of collectors and investors is going wild for these errors. The current market is so hot that auctions are exploding with competitive bids. If you own one of these quarters, you're not just holding history, you're holding a financial revolution. Let me take you back to 1990, a year of transformation. The Berlin Wall had just fallen, Nelson Mandela was freed from prison, and here in the US, a small but mighty mistake happened at the Philadelphia Mint. A batch of Washington quarters was struck with an error so subtle, yet so significant, it catapulted them into numismatic legend. The P Mint mark itself wasn't the issue. The problem and the opportunity came in the form of a die error. Coins were struck slightly off-center or with doubled dies, resulting in an appearance that only trained eyes could spot, but that serious collectors are willing to pay a fortune to obtain. This is not your average quarter. It's a symbol of American history, a time capsule of imperfection, and a coveted asset in the world of rare coin investing. And if you're wondering, yes, this coin has sold for over $622,000 at auction, with private buyers willing to pay even more under the right conditions. That's not speculation, that's fact. And the most incredible part? This coin has been found in circulation, in pockets, in old drawers, in Grandpa's coin box. This isn't a museum artifact, it's a hidden treasure hiding in plain sight. But here's a question for you. Do you know what to look for? Now, I want you to picture something. You're walking into your garage or attic. You crack open a shoebox labeled Old Coins. Your heart races as you pick up a dusty quarter from 1990 and, wait, does it have that tiny P Mint mark? Does the text look slightly off? Could this be the one? Because if it is, you're not just holding a coin. You're holding the key to financial freedom. This is your opportunity to join a movement of everyday Americans turning coin collecting into real wealth. The kind of wealth that pays off mortgages, clears debt, and funds luxurious retirements. Imagine traveling the world, buying your dream home, or simply knowing your family is secure. All from one overlooked coin. And let me just pause and say, before you go flipping every coin like a Vegas blackjack dealer. Yes, this market is very real. Auction houses like Heritage Auctions, Stack's Bowers, and private buyers are scouring the country for pieces like this. The demand is not slowing down, it's skyrocketing. The 1990 P error quarter isn't just rare. It's now a status symbol, a conversation piece, a trophy among collectors. So here's a little reset for you. Did you ever think that spare change could spare you from financial stress forever? Because it can. And the time to act is now. But here's the cliffhanger you didn't see coming. This isn't the only quarter worth big money. In fact, the 1990 P is just the beginning. There are dozens of hidden gems out there, waiting to be found, waiting to be sold, and they're sitting in wallets, jars, and drawers across America. In our next video, we'll uncover more of these hidden million-dollar coins, including one that looks almost identical to a regular quarter but has a value that will leave you speechless. Trust me, you won't want to miss it. So before you close that drawer or cash in your change jar at the bank, stop. You could be throwing away the easiest $622,000 you'll ever make. Imagine walking past your old coin jar, tucked away in a drawer, untouched for years, and inside sits a single coin, an ordinary-looking quarter. Nothing special at first glance, just a Washington quarter from 1982. But here's the shocker. If it bears a tiny P Mint mark and has the right kind of error, that humble piece of pocket change could be worth over $544,000 in today's market. Yes, $500,000 for a single coin. Sounds unbelievable? It's not. And by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to look for and how to turn forgotten change into fortune. Now, before you run to your coin collection, hear this. Thousands of people across the US are waking up to the hidden value inside their homes. Coins passed down from grandparents, change left in glove compartments, and some of these are appreciating faster than tech stocks. So the question is, do you have one of these rare treasures? Stay with me because in the next few minutes, you're going to learn how one tiny minting error turned a common 25-cent coin into a six-figure payday, and how you might be just one coin away from rewriting your financial future. Let's rewind the clock to 1982. The US Mint was under pressure. Rising metal costs had already changed the way coins were made. That year, they stopped stamping mint marks by hand and switched to a new method. In the midst of all this transition, a critical error occurred, one that collectors now fight over. Some quarters minted in Philadelphia that year bore a subtle, almost invisible difference. And that difference is now worth a fortune. It's known among numismatists as the 1982p Washington quarter error coin. The value? A jaw-dropping $544,500 at auction. Documented, verified, sold. Now here's where things get spicy. These coins aren't buried in ancient treasure chests. They're out there in regular households, in piggy banks, in old drawers, even in coin-operated laundromats. That's not just exciting, it's urgent, because with growing demand and limited supply, the price is climbing fast. If you're sitting on one, it might just be the most valuable thing you own. And here's a little humorous side note, someone once bought a coffee with one of these. That's a $544,000 espresso. Now that's one heck of a caffeine kick. But here's the kicker. Not every 1982 quarter with a P mint mark is valuable. There's a specific set of error traits that make this coin worth its weight in gold. Miss that detail, and you could unknowingly give away a fortune in your next garage sale. So how do you spot the golden ticket? First, you need to examine the coin's condition. Errors like double die obverse, weak strike, or off-center minting are your key indicators. But the truly rare ones? They show a perfect storm of traits. A strong strike on one side, faint or misaligned lettering on the other, and most critically, misplaced or inconsistent detail around the mint mark. These are not random accidents. They're rare, authenticated anomalies that auction houses crave. And collectors? They're on the hunt like never before. With rising gold and silver prices, the entire coin collecting world has turned its eyes to rare errors, especially from the early 80s. This isn't a passing trend. It's a surge. Now, if you're sitting there wondering, could I really own something like this? Yes, you absolutely could. And I'll tell you this. The most tragic thing I see is people letting go of coins for pocket change, not knowing they're worth a luxury car, or even a house. That's why I urge you, don't wait. Go check that junk drawer. Call your parents. Dig out that coin collection from the attic. Because every second that passes, another rare coin is found and sold. And here's the part that will keep you up tonight. Someone, somewhere in America will find one of these coins today. The question is, will it be you? You've just scratched the surface of what your old coins could be worth. So, if you're serious about turning forgotten change into a wealthy lifestyle, subscribe now and watch our next video where we reveal 3 more coins currently selling for over $1 million each, and they might be sitting in your coin jar right now. What if I told you that one single coin, no bigger than a bottle cap, could change your life forever? That hiding in your change jar, dresser drawer, or forgotten coin box might be a tiny piece of metal worth more than a brand new Lamborghini. This isn't fiction. This is real. And today we're diving into one of the most electrifying stories in modern numismatics. The 1980p mint mark Washington quarter with a rare error, currently valued at a jaw-dropping $688,000 in the coin collector's market. Yes, you heard that right, $688,000. One quarter, one error, one life-changing opportunity. And believe it or not, this ultra-rare coin is still circulating. People across the US have unknowingly spent or tossed it aside, not realizing its true value. Now, before you dismiss this as a fluke or exaggeration, ask yourself this: what if you've already held one of these in your hand? Back in 1980, the US Mint in Philadelphia released millions of Washington quarters into circulation. But hidden among them, just a handful bore a minting error so rare, so specific, that they've become numismatic royalty today. The secret lies in a misstrike involving the letter P from the Philadelphia Mint, a design anomaly visible only to trained eyes or lucky discoverers. Imagine this. The machines designed to mint flawless coins made a slight, almost imperceptible mistake. A misalignment, a die clash, a doubling, whatever the technical cause, it gave birth to a unicorn of the coin world. And collectors, investors, and dealers are now in a race to hunt down every remaining specimen before the window of opportunity closes forever. And here's the twist. The value isn't just in the metal or the age. It's in the story, the rarity, and the frenzy of demand. Coin auctions are lighting up across the country with aggressive bidding wars. And in 2024, one of these quarters fetched a staggering $688,000 at a private collector's auction. Yes, people are literally paying house-sized prices for this coin. Still think coins are boring? Try telling that to someone who just traded 25 cents for a dream life in cash. Now pause for a moment and imagine this. You're sitting on the couch, flipping through your spare change, and suddenly your heart skips a beat. You spot something unusual about your 1980 quarter. Could it be the one? This is the point where fear kicks in, the fear of missing out. Because while you're watching this, others are already cashing in. Every day you wait, someone else is checking their drawers, their piggy banks, their inherited coin collections. And those who act first, they're the ones walking away with the money. Here's a humorous break. The only time people ever cared this much about quarters was when Pac-Man was big and gas was under $1. But this quarter's got 2025 level power. So what do you do now? You become a seeker, a treasure hunter. You start looking not just in your loose change, but in your inherited coin collections, estate boxes, flea market finds, and even eBay listings. You start paying attention to detail, knowing that just one mistake from the mint could be your golden ticket. And don't worry, you don't need to be a coin expert. That's the beauty of this. You just need to know what to look for: the date, the mint mark, and the distinct signs of the rare error. There are trusted grading services and dealers ready to verify and evaluate your find, because this isn't just about collecting anymore. It's about claiming the wealth that's hiding in plain sight. And here's the cliffhanger. We haven't even scratched the surface of other high-value errors lurking in everyday coins. If you think the 1980p quarter is impressive, wait until you hear about the 1970s quarter struck on a Canadian coin, or the 2004 Wisconsin extra leaf. But more on that next time. So don't wait. Don't assume it's just hype. Check your coins. Share this with someone who has a jar full of change collecting dust. You never know, the next person to cash in could be you. Because here's the truth. Wealth isn't always earned in boardrooms or stock markets. Sometimes it jingles in your pocket. And the people who become wealthy aren't always the ones who work the hardest. They're the ones who see what others overlook. This is your moment. The 1980p Washington quarter is real. The demand is surging. And your chance to claim a piece of history and a piece of fortune is right now. So what are you waiting for? Imagine pulling out a dusty jar of old coins from the back of your drawer. And one coin, just one, changes your entire financial future. What if I told you that a simple Washington quarter from 1967 with no mint mark could be worth up to $988,000 today? Yes, that's nearly $1 million for a coin you may have handled as spare change years ago. Sounds unbelievable? Keep watching, because this isn't a myth. It's a rare truth most Americans overlook. In the world of coin collecting, the right coin at the right moment can catapult ordinary people into extraordinary wealth. And in this video, I'm going to show you how one specific error, hiding in plain sight, turned a common quarter into a treasure of unimaginable value. This is more than history. This is your chance to turn forgotten coins into financial freedom. But before we dive deep, here's a quick question to wake your curiosity. When was the last time you actually looked at the fine details on your quarters? That could have been a $500,000 decision you didn't even know you were making. Let's step back to 1967, a time when the U.S. Mint was dealing with unprecedented demand and chaos. In an effort to speed up production, they made a decision. Omit mint marks from coins struck between 1965 and 1967. Sounds routine, right? But here's where the magic begins. One particular batch of Washington quarters minted in 1967, completely without a mint mark, had a die error, a minting mishap so subtle, so rare, that only a handful exist. These coins, unassuming and silver-toned, carry a mistake that most eyes miss, but expert collectors are desperately chasing. One such coin recently hit the market and fetched a staggering $988,000 at auction. Not because of what it is, but because of what went wrong when it was made and how few like it exist. Now, here's the twist. These coins were circulated, meaning they're not locked away in vaults or museums. They were spent. They were lost in couch cushions. They were tossed into piggy banks. And they could be sitting in your home right now. Still think that old jar of coins isn't worth a second glance? You might want to rethink that. Let's pause. Have you ever wondered why some people seem to stumble upon life-changing opportunities while others just scroll past them? You're not here by accident. You clicked on this video because you know there's more out there. And today, the more might just be jingling inside your kitchen drawer. So, how can you tell if your 1967 Washington quarter is the jackpot coin? First, check for the absence of a mint mark just above the R in quarter dollar on the reverse. Then, look for subtle signs of die errors, double strikes, misalignments, off-center images. And remember, condition matters. The higher the grade, the higher the value. But don't panic if your coin isn't pristine. Even worn examples have sold for thousands because the rarity of the error is what drives the value, not just the shine. Now here's the exciting part. With the recent explosion in demand for rare coins, driven by collectors, investors, and yes, everyday people like you, the market for rare quarters is white-hot. Dealers are aggressively buying. Auctions are competitive. And time is not on your side. You see, once coins like this are found and locked into private collections, they vanish from circulation, possibly forever. This means every passing day reduces your odds of discovery and increases their value. And that's the kind of urgency that turns quiet curiosity into decisive action. So, let me ask you, are you going to check that jar tonight? Don't let this be one of those "I should have" moments. If you've got a box of coins collecting dust, now is the time to act. Have your quarters professionally appraised. Connect with reputable coin buyers. Tap into a market where your forgotten change might just fund your dream lifestyle. And if you're still watching, here's your cliffhanger. In next week's video, we're uncovering another coin from the 1960s, even more rare than the 1967 quarter, and its recent value stunned even the most seasoned numismatists. You won't believe which state quarter is suddenly commanding over $1.20 million, and how a single fingerprint on the surface changed its fate. So subscribe, turn on notifications, and stay locked in, because this isn't just about coins. It's about reclaiming your hidden wealth, one quarter at a time. You don't need Wall Street to build wealth. Sometimes all it takes is knowing what to look for and having the courage to believe in your own luck. Your future might already be in your hands. What if I told you that a simple quarter, yes, that regular 25-cent coin you probably have lying around in your kitchen drawer, could be worth over $611,000 right now? You heard that right. One particular version of the 1987 Washington quarter, minted in Denver and marked with the iconic D, is making serious waves in the collector's market. And someone just like you, maybe even in your own neighborhood, could be sitting on a gold mine without even knowing it. Now imagine flipping through your loose change and finding out that your old quarter could fund a luxury car, a home renovation, or even an early retirement. Sounds too good to be true? Stay with me, because this isn't a fantasy. It's a very real, very rare opportunity. And it's one that's slipping through fingers across America every single day. But here's the kicker. Not every 1987 D quarter is worth a fortune. There's something specific, an error so rare, so unusual, that it transforms this coin into one of the most sought-after treasures in U.S. numismatic history. And by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to look for, and why this tiny coin could unlock massive wealth for you or someone you love. Let's rewind to 1987. Ronald Reagan was in the White House, Wall Street was booming, and somewhere in the Denver Mint, a machine made a mistake. An error. Perfect storm in the coin world. This wasn't your everyday wear and tear or minor blemish. This was a striking anomaly that made a few lucky quarters into high-value collectibles. Collectors call it a double die, others point to an off-center strike, while some mention a misaligned die or missing clad layers. Technical terms, yes, but what they really mean is serious value. These flaws, invisible to the untrained eye, have now turned this common coin into a six-figure treasure. One such error coin. Flawless in its misprint, pristine in its preservation. Sold recently for a jaw-dropping $611,000 at auction. That's not a typo. Over $500,000 for a coin you might accidentally hand to a vending machine. Still think that spare change isn't worth checking? Now, Before you go rushing to your car's cup holder or couch cushions, let's take a moment to appreciate why this coin is now in such insane demand. Scarcity, beauty, and mystery. That's the trifecta collectors dream of. And this 1987 D quarter checks all three boxes. And here's where it gets exciting. The market isn't slowing down. In fact, thanks to a new wave of collectors driven by social media trends and investment diversification, demand is at an all-time high. Think of this as the real estate of rare coins, limited supply, booming value, and international buyers competing to own a piece of Americana. Okay, pause for a second. I know what you're thinking. I've got a jar of quarters that haven't seen daylight since Clinton was president. Am I rich? Well, maybe. Or maybe you've just been unknowingly using a fortune to pay parking meters. Let that sink in. Wouldn't that make a great conversation at your next family dinner? Hey, remember that quarter I used to buy a gumball? Yeah, turns out it could have bought a Porsche. So here's the real question. Have you checked your coins yet? Because this isn't just a story about someone else cashing in. This could very well be your story. That 1987 D Washington quarter could be sitting in a dusty jar, forgotten in a wallet, or buried at the bottom of an old jewelry box. And today, it's more than just currency. It's your opportunity. But time matters. As more of these rare error coins are discovered and authenticated, the chances of finding an untouched gem diminish. The early bird doesn't just get the worm, they get the windfall. The coin market is heating up. Prices are climbing. Demand is outpacing discovery. And the collectors with eyes trained on error coins are snatching them up faster than ever. So don't wait. Pull out your coin collections, check those coin rolls, and look very closely at your 1987 D quarters. If you're not sure what to look for, get them evaluated by a professional. Even a small blemish could mean a big payday. And if you want to know the top 3 most valuable quarters hiding in circulation right now, including one that's been turning up in laundromats, make sure you stick around for our next video. It's even more shocking than this one. Imagine pulling out a dusty jar of old coins from your kitchen drawer, something you've ignored for decades, only to find out that one of those coins could be worth $416,000 today. Sounds unbelievable? It isn't. This isn't a fantasy. This is a real story unfolding in the world of rare coins, and it could happen to you. Now, before you dismiss this video and scroll past thinking, oh, it's just another coin story, stop, because this one could be your life-changing moment. We're talking about the 1995 Washington quarter with the D mint mark, a coin that, under the radar, has become a legend among collectors. But not just any 1995 D quarter. This is the error coin, a unique variant that has turned ordinary Americans into overnight six-figure earners. Why is it so valuable? What exactly makes this coin a golden ticket? And more importantly, could you have one lying around in your home right now? Stay with me because in the next few minutes you're going to see why this coin is sparking a modern gold rush. Let's take a quick time machine back to 1995. A year of dial-up internet, the birth of eBay, and yes, quarters that didn't seem like anything special at the time. But in the Denver Mint, something extraordinary happened. A small number of quarters were struck with a critical minting error, a flaw so rare, so clean, and so visually striking that it created what collectors call the perfect storm in coin valuation. This 1995 D quarter shows misaligned dies, double details, and other anomalies that only happen once in a generation. What makes it so special is that it looks like a regular coin to the untrained eye. Most people never even notice it, and that's where the opportunity lies. That subtle error is now worth a staggering $416,000. Yes, that's the current market value, confirmed by recent auctions and private collector transactions. What's fueling this demand? Simple. Scarcity, condition, and a feverish market of buyers desperate to own a piece of modern minting history. In a sea of ordinary coins, the 1995 D era quarter is the diamond. It's the needle in the haystack, but the haystack is in your own home. Can you imagine discovering a quarter that could fund your dream car, clear your mortgage, or send your kids to college? That's the emotional power behind this coin. It's not just currency, it's possibility. It's the door to the life you thought was out of reach. And just when you think this couldn't get more exciting, let me drop this on you. There may be more of these quarters out there, ungraded, undiscovered, and sitting in homes like yours. The numismatic world is on edge because every new discovery drives the value even higher. The clock is ticking. Demand is rising. And the people who act fast are the ones making history. So here's where it all comes together. If you're between the ages of 30 and 65, living in the US, and you've ever tucked away old coins from your change, your travels, or your childhood, you could be holding a six-figure payday. The 1995 D-era quarter isn't just rare. It's in high demand, and the market is burning hot right now. Check your drawers, check your old coin jars, check your inherited coin collections. Don't wait, because this isn't just about finding a coin. It's about unlocking wealth that's already in your hands. You may ask, but how do I know if my coin is the valuable one? That's coming up in just a moment. Stay with me, because I'll share how to spot the exact error signs that make this quarter so valuable. Trust me, you'll want to take notes. Still think it's a long shot? Let me ask you something. If someone told you there's a lottery ticket in your house, would you throw out the junk drawer without checking? Of course not. So why would you ignore this? And here's a fun thought. What if that coin has already passed through your fingers and you didn't know? Ouch. That's the fear that drives urgency. Don't be the one who had the coin and missed out. Be the one who cashes in. Up next, we're going to walk through what the error looks like, how to get your coin appraised, and the best marketplaces where collectors are offering top dollar, sometimes even starting bidding wars over this one quarter. Yes, one coin. Before we dive into that, let me leave you with this thought. One decision can change your financial destiny. This isn't about luck. It's about knowledge. And now you have it. Coming up, I'll show you the exact features that make the 1995 D-era quarter worth hundreds of thousands, details that even coin shops often miss. Plus, I'll reveal a little-known platform where verified buyers are paying more than $400,000 for high-grade examples without haggling. Make sure you watch until the end because one little detail might be the difference between pocket change and a life of luxury.